to the Digital Den. I'm your host again today, Luke Erhardt, and here I'm joined with Spencer County High School's volleyball coach, Miss Patty. Let's give it up for Miss Patty. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. So, how's the team looking this year?
We've kind of had some ups and downs. We're better than we were last year, so looking pretty good. Have a good upcoming game this evening. I know this won't go out before, but it's senior night tonight, and then we've got some district matches coming. So we'll get tested here soon.
Yeah, looking forward to senior night tonight. I'll be there for sure. Hope to see a lot of people out there. So first, let's get to know Miss Patty first. Tell us a little bit about you, your home life, your family.
I am the youngest of five. We've all played volleyball. My parents played volleyball. So my brother is the coach at Florida State University for the volleyball team. Mm-hmm. They had a close match the other night, lost to Florida in 5, but boo. I've been married, will be 12 years in November. I have 4 stepkids, getting ready to have our 3rd grandchild. So,
congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, besides volleyball, what other hobbies do you?
I read a lot. I like John Grisham's my favorite author, so I love read. I help my husband with his business. He does an online auction, so kind of used to being on camera a little bit with that.
Oh, yeah.
So we enjoy it. It's a lot of family time that we spend together.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how long have you been the coach at Spencer County?
I've been here 3 years. This is my 3rd season here. So.
3rd season?
Yes, sir.
So what got you to this point in your career?
Again, family. We've started young. I started playing when I was in 3rd grade. I don't think I really had a choice. With being the youngest, all my siblings were like, "Oh, you're gonna play," and everything was a competition. Whether it was eating dinner, playing sports, we all played every sport growing up. So, and then just coaching. As soon as I only played 1 year in college, and then the lady that I played college volleyball for, I ended up coaching with her at Mail in 1992. No, before any of you all were ever born, but so, and then just took off from there. Just kind of. Now I coach club and coach you. So
awesome. So you mentioned earlier there's been some ups and downs in this season. So how do you get your players from getting their minds off the downs and focusing on the ups and keeping motivated?
It is difficult sometimes with girls. Mm-hmm. It can be not just necessarily a loss, but if somebody talked to their boyfriend or they broke up with their boyfriend, so we kind of have a running joke of a rule like if you're dating someone at the start of the season, you're dating them at the end of the season. So we tease about that a lot. We try to keep it a little lighthearted. It is just volleyball. Mm-hmm. It is not the end all. I know it seems like that to them right now, that it is like, but we get to a point where we're tired of losing. Normally I'm not a yelling coach, but I kind of got on them a little bit more this past weekend at the tournament that we played, and they really responded well to that. Of course, we have some crying moments with the kids, but we just try to be better than we were the day before or the game before, and that's kind of the goal that we focus on. Now, whether it's a win or a loss, it's just can you be better than what you were the last game? What are you learning from the mistakes that you made, and let's try not to make them again.
Yeah, just continue to get better.
Sure.
And it's one of those seasons you can't really judge off of the record because a lot of these games have been super close. So can you go into a little bit on how you're trying to get your team to get over the hump in those close games and finishing it out?
We just talked about this in practice the other day, like when to go aggressive, when not to be as aggressive. Like if we're clawing back in a match where we've been down 5, sometimes 10 points, you still stay aggressive because that's how we got there. Mm-hmm. So just making sure you know when to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive, when to fight a little bit harder. Like we always say, we didn't get here at 17-17 by playing safe. Let's just be aggressive, chips fall where they may.
Yeah. So. And like you said, senior night's tonight. This video won't be out by then, but it's still early in the season, really. Mm-hmm. So what are your goals for the last half of the season or more?
Well, we have 2 big district games coming up after this week. We were supposed to play Shelby this past Tuesday. They had to reschedule for some reason. Something's going on with their gym. So we play them Tuesday, then play Collins Thursday, and then we turn around the following week and play Woodford. So we have 3 district games all back to back to back. So Those will be big games. We just need to be more aggressive. And we learned last week, 2 weeks ago, we're hosting districts this week. It was supposed to be Shelby, but they're having some issues with their gym. So let's just not have to play in that first 4 or 5 match is the goal. But no, just be better than they were the day before. So.
Yeah, and it always helps being your home gym for districts. So
yes, and
so
we have the
good.
advantage with the lower ceiling.
Yeah,
which a lot of them are used to the big high ceilings. Anderson's high, Shelby's the new gym's high. Woodford's is kind of low, so Woodford usually.
I'll say our gym, I've hit the ceiling, and I play basketball, so I couldn't imagine hitting the ball up like that and trying to avoid the ceiling. Right. So like you said, with the district games all coming up, what has the atmosphere in practice been like looking forward to these games?
It's been pretty light. We try to keep it fairly light. The girls, when they start getting more intense, they start getting quieter, which in volleyball you cannot be quiet because the more you talk, the more communication is good for them. So we kind of completely went off of my script for practice the other day. We were working on diving, and then that became a whole silly thing because we did not look like the college athletes that are on the TV night to night, but we looked almost like you were throwing a starfish up against the wall on some of them. But it was good. It was good. They had a good time. So we just try to keep it light, and so they play loose in the games.
Yeah. So if you could you tell us how many seniors you have and a little bit about your senior class this year?
Sure. We have 5 seniors, one of which is the manager. So Shay has been with me since this will be her 3rd year. So my 3rd year. So Shay's been with us the whole time. So I appreciate when Shay is able to come to the matches. But she has to do some photo stuff too, so it's kind of hit or miss. Hannah Palmer, which you know Hannah, but she's been with us. I mean, they've all been on the team since I've been here. All 3 playing varsity, or 4 of the players playing varsity. But Hannah's our libero, starting libero, which is, for those of you that don't know, that's our defensive specialist. She can come in and out of the game wearing that different colored jersey, and she has really come on. Like, we always laugh, but she hates being when we're on visiting courts because I'm like literally standing right beside her, and she doesn't like that. So she always says she's going to choose the other side when she's the captain, and she likes to be opposite of me. So, because she knows that we've gotten to a point now where with her, I just say Hannah, and she already knows, basically what she's done wrong. You've got Jordan Mattingly. She came to us her junior year. She was transferred from Whitfield. Good athlete, really loves the game. She's one of our outside hitters. Has really stepped up this year. She's come a long way since when I first saw her. So, and then you've got Morgan. Morgan, we laugh all the time. We have a freshman now that is just like Morgan. And I know she's in this podcast stuff, and was always so quiet, so timid, and she's really started to step out this year. Like, she was our loudest person in preseason, which I kept saying, Morgan, what has happened? And we wrote some goals down for him this weekend, and one of them was, I need the preseason Morgan, because she started to get quiet again, and she gets, as any player, athlete, they get nervous when they're playing. And then you have Ella Brown, which Ella just brings a lot of energy all the time. She's finally gotten to where she hits aggressively instead of tipping every ball. She's gotten more comfortable. We have new setters this year for varsity. She's gotten way more comfortable with them and has started to really get aggressive. I attribute some of it to basketball. She's a force on blocking. I think Anderson County was her best match I've seen so far this year.
And she plays track too, doesn't she?
Yes,
so she stays busy all year round.
Yes, which is good. I think the more sports kids can play, the better.
Yeah.
I hate the specializing, even though I coach one of those teams, but I don't like it. If they can play multiple sports, I think they're more well-rounded.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of seniors on the team. Can you tell us a little bit about the leadership that they have on the younger players?
I'm laughing because we always have to remind them, make sure that you realize you're always being watched. Whether it's by your younger siblings, it's someone in the crowd, it's someone that's on the freshman team. Even we are young this year, even though we say we have a lot of seniors, we are very young. Our sophomore class is really big, and they look up to them. They want to be I don't want them to be like Ella sometimes, but they want to be like Ella, blocking wise. But we just have to remind them, make sure you're always being watched. So it kind of comes and goes with the leadership from the seniors. Hannah's very quiet. She wants people to like her. One time I said, Hannah, you own the back 20 feet of the court. You're a defensive specialist. You've got to get on those blocks to close. Well, we all get along and want everybody to get along. And so she, and that's good, but it's also I need her to have a little bit more fire. And the more they hear from her, the more fired up the team gets. When she's, once somebody gets excited, they all get excited, but then you've got the reverse too. If somebody gets down, they all do care about each other, so then they all start getting down.
Yeah. So now we're going to focus towards the younger players. How are you preparing them for upcoming seasons when these seniors aren't there to lead them?
A lot of them are getting playing time. Like I said, our sophomore class is huge. We have one junior. Two. There's one on JV. The sophomore class, I like to focus on. The freshman class is big. This upcoming wave of players will be really good. We actually have an 8th grader on varsity. She also plays JV. So, again, it's just the more reps they can get, the better. So, we try to do that in practice. Now, obviously, playing time's earned. So, it just depends. If they can stay focused, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a big thing. You've kind of already went into some big games coming up with all the district games. Is there any other games that you are keeping a close eye on, or is it just kind of strictly districts right now?
Mainly districts, because I don't want to say that's all that matters, but basically that's all that matters, right? So, and just trying to avoid that 4-5 thing right now. If we were to end today, we have the one loss to Anderson, so I would say those 3 district games are the big ones coming up. We have Butler, Washington County is where we end our regular season, so we'll see what they do.
Yeah. So how can someone who's interested with the volleyball program keep up with what you got going on and what the volleyball team's got going on here in the future?
They can either reach out to the school directly or Mr. Marksberry, the AD, and then he usually just gives people my email address. Or my phone number is out there too. I think it's all on the school's website. We don't really have like a specific, Facebook page or anything, but they can always get on the state high school website and see when our games are. So that's basically how you get it.
All right. So in closing, is there anything you'd like to tell the viewers, people watching, just any last remarks?
I know there's so many sports going on, especially in the fall. You got basketball, soccer. I've seen baseball out there doing their fall stuff. Basketball's starting to come on. If you can come out to any of our games, that would be super helpful, especially the Collins, which is next Thursday, and then the Woodford, which are all both at home. The girls would love it. The more fans we can get in there. Mainly it's parents right now, which is a huge, portion of our crowd. But we got 37 kids total in the program. So our parents fill up the stands. But if we can get a student section in there, appreciate the ones that have been coming out. There's probably about 10, 15 of them that are regularly there. But the more loud we can get, especially Woodford. Woodford, when we go there, it's almost like they just drown, like me trying to tell the kids who are like maybe 5, 10 feet away from me. Yeah. But the kids can't hear me. So any support you can give us, that'd be great. So.
Yeah. So I'd like to thank you for being on the show today. It's been a pleasure, and good luck on the rest of your season.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
As for the viewers, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to catch us on our socials. We got Instagram at digitaldin.schs, and we're on YouTube at schs Digital Den. And you can check out our other podcast on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe on that. That's all from here. So I'm Luke Erhardt, signing out from the Digital Den.